So, and I know you killed another deer later on that this year that you told us,
Yeah.
hey, I smell him.
Well, here's one that I know some people are going to gasp. I killed him with my Kentucky rifle.
Right.
I built a Kentucky rifle. Dad bought me a kit for my birthday or Christmas several years ago, and I love that gun. It shoots a round ball, 50 caliber round ball, patched round ball, and that gun will absolutely shoot. And I love that thing. So black powder, I like to get after him a little bit with that. And when I got in there that evening, I knew from a scrape, and the way that scrape is, you've seen that scrape. It's exactly what you're talking about. It's the one that's in the right spot. It's the right,
Mhm.
got the everything's made up right. And I knew from a trail camera on there that several big deer were in the area. And it's not like that they were like there's immediate pictures or like that week or anything like that. It was just I knew they were in the area from summer, and that's one the most effective people that I know of and how they use trail cameras. They use them for an inventory, and that's what it was. Is I knew there were mature bucks in there, and I knew there were does holding there. And when I saw that wind that evening, we had had I want to say it was like a true south for like 6 straight days or something like that, like some kind of front or something. And then it changed to a northwest. And I really need a northwest there. North is fine. And west is fine, but a northwest is just perfect. The way that everything sets up there, slipping up that hill, the wind, which was northwest, and a lot of people don't think about the wind with their access, but I had the wind with the
Yeah.
access. Slip in there, and that wind, I mean, it was just like he was standing in front of me. I mean, it just that whole hillside reeked coming out of that thicket, and I knew he had a doe locked down. And it's not like I ever saw it. I didn't have pictures of it. I had no proof. I'm just saying, I just knew, just in my gut, he had a doe locked down in that thicket. And I texted you guys that so I
Yeah.
could smell him.
I can
And I
smell him.
and the problem was, and that I had thought about this access because I know that he was within 100 yards. For me to smell him that well,
Hmm.
he was within 100 yards. But the way the access was, I never topped the hill. The stand is just off the top of the hill, and I creeped to the bottom of the tree and I squirrel walked. And some people probably think I'm psycho, but I like would shuffle my feet. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Yeah.
squirrel, how a squirrel is like it's not a solid
Yeah.
continuous. I don't do that. I didn't do that because it was corn pops. I was so dry, and so I squirrel walked, got to the base of the tree, climbed up the tree, and right at dark, he was scent checking that scrape from the bottom side, like from he
Down
was
the,
getting the dumping over wind.
yeah.
And the way the wind was, I could kill him before he got me. Because if he'd have kept coming, he'd have got me. But the way that he was coming, he couldn't get me in time. And
Mhm.
what happened? A spike came through right at dark, and I screenshotted it. It was literally the minute before legal shooting light. But he come through and he was scent checking. And when he saw that spike, he bristled up and started walking towards that spike. And he gave me about a 50-yard shot. And I got iron sights, so it was a little bit more difficult. But iron sights with that Kentucky rifle squeezed it off, and he made it about 70 yards. But and I listened, and I heard him fall, and I heard him kick and everything. But still, you know how it is. Man starts second guessing. But I remember sending that text. But it was exactly what you're talking about. He was scent checking that scrape, and that scrape, I had started that scrape, but they had taken it over, and man, it was wore out. And I a third or fourth big buck and when I say big buck, I'm talking 4.5 plus, like big, mature. And this buck right here, he was a hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the more impressive specimen. I've killed bigger scoring deer, but as far as an impressive specimen, it's
Hmm.
just like, God, that is a mountain buck right there.
Yeah.
That is, oh, he just what dreams are made of. Man, what a great hunt. That just, makes me just so happy. But again, we've said this before. This podcast, don't ever get under this assumption that we're some elitist that's like, you can only do it this way, you can only do it our way. These tips and tricks, it don't matter what you're using, it's going to help. That
Yeah.
woodsmanship, it makes a big difference. But that was like the third big mature buck that I've saw do that, and I can guarantee you where I will have a stand next year because that is I know at least the third big buck that I've watched check that scrape from the very same spot. Like this is
Hmm.
and there's a pinch point down there where a ditch kind of tops out, and they're going around the top of that ditch, and your boy's gonna be sitting there.